All right, fight fans, special guest, friend to the room on the line, one of the most talented fighters in the world on our pound for pound list, Mr. Shakur Stevenson.
What's up, Shakur?
What's good? What's good?
Chilling.
Listen, first off, we haven't seen each other since Spence Crawford fight. So before we get into like your career, I want to ask you some questions about that night. You know, we partied a little bit after to celebrate Bud's win. I know you've done other interviews about this, but you haven't talked to us, and I just want your assessment. Now, I know Bud is your bro. I know you saw him winning that fight, but did you expect him to dominate the way he did that night?
Yeah, I expected him to dominate. I ain't expected him to like. I think he definitely like overachieved what I thought he was going to do. But I definitely thought he was going to dominate that fight.
Did you see any new tools in his shed?
I mean, I was in camp with him, so I got to see like I got to see it like up close and personal. Like me and him was sparring and we was working. So I think like the best thing that I've seen.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, we steal things from each other. But nah. The best thing I feel like I seen with him was his jab. Like, I feel like his jab was like masterful that night.
Vicious. Yeah, no doubt about it. A lot has transpired since then. You know, he talked about wanting to go up to 154 to fight Jermell Charlo and become undisputed. Now Charlo is going to be losing one of those straps. So, and he's going up to fight Canelo. But the big news that really recently dropped was that he's willing to go up to even 168 after initially saying he's only going up to 158, 160. He can't go any higher. Now he doubled down and said, you know what? I'm willing to go up to 168 to fight Canelo Alvarez should he beat Charlo. Is that a smart move or you stand by him on that one?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Honestly, I've been saying it. I just seen like an interview of me back in the day saying that I feel like Bud will beat Canelo. So that's my opinion. I think like Bud is just like on a whole different level. And I feel like his skills can travel through weight classes because he know what he's doing there. He's a boxing genius too.
Definitely one of the best fighters I ever seen in my life. Now you see how he made that fight with Spence. He had to actually get on the phone and call Spence personally and work that out and say, let's leave all the promoters, managers out. Have you ever thought about doing that with Tank, since that's like the biggest fight in the division right now?
Nah, I ain't really too like friendly with none of them. So
I know. Honestly,
like I don't know, like maybe I gotta really like sit down and think about that. But maybe I could see me if somebody else willing to do it, I'm willing to like get on the phone and do that.
Is that the most intriguing fight for you at 135? Is it Tank or is it anybody else?
Yeah, nah, that's the most intriguing fight. That's a fighter who got boxing skills, power, and he's a complete fighter. So I think that that is definitely the best fight for him.
You know, I got into a heavy debate at the MGM Grand. Barak was witnessed with somebody on the PBC side, right, about you and Tank, because they, obviously they were siding with Tank and saying Tank has too much power, and I was obviously siding with you because the skill level was just, the way you master distance, Tank is not going to be able to land those shots, and have the leverage. Now, as far as when you go into that fight, right? And I think we talked about this in the past. Do you fight different fighters differently, right? So would you go into a Tank fight different than you would go into like a Jamel Herring fight because of the power?
No, I don't think the power like really play a part. Just cause like I know, not cause I know like I done been in there with like power punches my whole life. Like I done been in there with like some of the strongest people, so I know for a fact if I could avoid a punch with people that's bigger, stronger, faster, I ain't really too worried about like the power. So I wouldn't go in there. I think it'll be more so like just the biggest fight of my career. So
you'll be your typical self in there, regardless of
I gotta turn it up. I gotta turn it up to another level just because of the fact that I'm in there with another level.
Right. Speaking of Tank, Barak, real quick, just lastly on the Bud thing, I know you heard about the Tank going up to 147. Is that crazy? Is that something that obviously Tank should stay away from fighting Bud at 147?
Yeah, I think Bud too big. Bud way out of his weight class. So, I mean, I think that it's more so a fight for me. Like, that's a fight.
Right. It sounds like you're saying, man, I done sparred Bud so much, and Tank can't do nothing with me in there. Is that what it is?
No, I ain't saying that. I'm just saying I've been in there with a lot of the best fighters on the planet, and I feel as though if they can't hurt me,
right? And
I ain't gotta understand sparring and fighting is two different things, but I'm comfortable in the ring wherever I'm at, whether it's fighting or sparring. So regardless, if they can't hurt me, I don't think that nobody my size really gonna hurt me or do nothing.
Yeah, you always look comfortable. But did you think coming up to 135 that you would be somebody that can't land those big fights?
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that years ago. They've been telling me that.
Wow. How far? I mean, look. Well, let's talk about your promotional company, Shakur. Obviously, people are asking how many fights Shakur has left with Top Rank. Can you talk a little bit about that, just to give people some perspective here? Like, how many more fights do you have to fight under Top Rank in ESPN?
Next year, it'll be the end of my contract. So,
right.
I don't really want to discuss all that type of details,
right.
Definitely Top Rank been good to me. So,
right, no doubt. Yeah, and I'm not trying to get you to bash them either. It's just to know when does it end? Is it next year, just a year, or another 1 or 2 fights?
I ain't going to put out all the details. But
okay.
Like I said, next year the date.
I got you.
He's going to ask you how much money you got in the bank next too. This guy want to know everything. Shakur, have you ever been online and checked, what is Shakur Stevenson's net worth and see what they say?
Yeah, I did.
Is it crazy? Is it far from the truth?
Yeah, it's far from the truth.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
All right, so what's your next move? On Instagram, on social media, it's just, all I'm seeing is you're being iced out. People don't want to fight you. Has your team made an attempt to reach out to, whether it's Tank, whether it's Devin Haney? I know Devin moved up to 140, but anybody else at 135, has there been offers sent out to them?
Nah, we didn't. We probably we reached out to Devin. We had our whole dispute on the money side, but I feel like we talking to other people. It's gonna be a big fun fight on the way. That's what I would say. I think it's gonna be a big fun fight on the way.
Is it a Lomachenko fight on the way?
I wish, but honestly, Lomachenko said he don't want to fight me. He said next year. But it's a big fight on the way for sure.
A big fight on the way. Come on, you don't want to tell us. I can't think of any big name. Not Cambosis.
So it's a name that we all know and that people will be excited about.
Exactly. It's a name that it's an up and coming, undefeated fighter who's hungry.
Frank Martin. He want to fight. Frank Martin. There you go.
I don't know.
It's just so crazy how you are willing to fight any and everybody. That's crazy right now. When other people could probably say who accomplished as much as you say, well, you ain't fight nobody yet. You don't deserve to fight me. I'm a 2-division champ. You know what I mean? So I'm on a pound for pound list. You don't deserve to fight me, but you're willing to get in there with anybody, even though you're waiting for the bigger fights.
So that means maybe down the line, after his contract is up, maybe he'll be at PBC. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I don't know about that.
No, I'm trying to get him to say something, Barak.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
It's a big fight on the way. We're gonna see who the opponent is, and like you said, I'm down to fight anybody. I'm a fighter who I'll fight anybody. As long as you sign a contract, I'm gonna sign a contract. As long as the business makes sense, we can make it happen.
Well, speaking of signing a contract, that thing that went viral where you sending a bottle over to Devin Haney. What was his reaction after that? Did he wink at you you got that one, you funny?
Nah, he didn't even look my way. I really was trying to get his attention. I'm playing around with looking over there, seeing what he, see what it is, and then he it's like he had somebody get in front of him and like block them from me and him seeing each other. Like it was kind of weird.
Well, even after that, you also was getting his attention in the boxing in the ring after he beat Lomachenko. There was a viral video
weird too
of you looking at him, and that was a funny image right there. So, do you think he avoided you as well in the ring?
Yeah, I think that usually when somebody come in the ring and another fighter is in there, you're gonna acknowledge them,
right,
and talk a little, and I feel like he done that with like other fighters. Like he went out there and he done that with Ryan Garcia. He went in the ring with Lomachenko. Everybody stayed in the ring and they talked and
they talked
bigged up a fight between them two. And I think he ran out to like let the world know he want to fight me.
I mean, he did say a little something. Didn't he say like I'm number one or whatever?
And you said
but he said it walking out. Yeah, but
Okay.
he said it like walking out. Like he ain't really say. Like, like if that was me in that situation, especially like if he came in the ring by himself, like nobody else with him, why you wouldn't say nothing to me? You got 6-7 people in there. Like what would stop him from saying something to me? I ain't get that.
So if he's saying he's been struggling making 135, would you be willing to go up to 140 and fight him?
I mean, I ain't gonna count it out.
Wow.
We'll see, I wouldn't count it out.
But obviously at 135, you want to be the man and become champion again. You're already 2-division champion. I'm assuming you want to conquer 135. Do you think that if you just stay the course, right, even though right now it doesn't seem like anybody really wants to take you on, eventually you're going to get those big fights? Do you feel that in your heart?
Yeah. I feel like they can't like deny me. I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I am like one of the best fighters in the world. So there's no way they keep me out. Like there's no way nobody could not fight me. There's gonna be big fights. They're gonna present themselves, and I'm gonna be ready when the time comes.
Do you think you're at the point?
Hold on, Barak. The Devin Haney offer, like it was public. Now we don't know the details from that, but from what it seemed like, the offer was a bit insulting. Do you think that part of you say to yourself before you guys turn it down, say, you know what? I'm ready to take this just so I can beat this dude, just so I can prove to the world, tell I'm the best. Then after that, I'm going to be calling a shot. Did that cross your mind for a second?
Nah, what really crossed my mind was I really was thinking like I should take it just to call his bluff. Because I really don't think like that was like for real. Like he really wanted to fight me. I think that it was really a bluff. So I don't think it had nothing to do with if I take it, we gonna fight. I ain't see that happen. I think that it would have been me calling his bluff if I would have.
So if you would have accepted it, the fight still wouldn't have happened, in your opinion.
Yeah, nah, it was gonna be something else. When it come down to it, it's business at the end of the day. So everything on their side would have had to make sense and been right for them. So I don't think that. I'm saying, as far as me, I don't think that he would have been ready to fight me.
What's your response when he says that he took less than 25% to fight Kambosos in Australia?
I don't know how true that is. I don't know how true that is. I need to like find out how true that is because I heard different.
Okay. Well, maybe so. Do you think you're at the point where belts are important? Don't get me wrong. You grow up as a kid wanting to get belts, but do you think you're at a point now where you're kind of bigger than the belt because you're on that pound for pound list?
Nah, not at all. I'm still fighting for legacy. I'm still wanting to be like one of the most accomplished fighters in the sport. So, I mean, business is first, and as long as the business makes sense, like I said, everything is okay. I'm ready to get in the ring. But I think like me chasing them belts is like me breaking records, and I want to be able to say I'm winning titles, and if I get undisputed and all that kind of stuff, that's gonna be like a different type of legacy. So.
And when it comes to splits, right? People talk about popularity, and I guess Devin has some popularity. But I've been to your last few fights, and the arenas were packed, and your notoriety and other celebs talking about your skill level, posting you. I don't think there's a big difference in popularity between you and Devin Haney. Is that something that you guys bring to the table negotiating? Like, yo, I know you got the belts, but when you talk about a draw, I'm right there with you. It ain't like you much of a bigger star to me. Like, do you feel that?
I don't even like to speak on that. I don't even think like it's even I think that I'm a bigger draw than
More
him.
popular.
If it really come down to it. Cause like we ain't never see him like go to no arenas by himself and like really sell out. It was more so Lomachenko with him and they doing numbers. But other than that, or Cambosis, he in Australia. But before that, what was he selling out?
Not like you've done in Newark, and we've seen it firsthand.
No.
Right.
No, and I honestly feel like if we speaking business wise, like if I was had got that Lomachenko fight, I feel like that would have been a bigger fight than him and Lomachenko.
How much did it inspire you seeing Bud becoming a 2-division undisputed champ?
I ain't gonna lie, it motivated me so much. I feel like just watching like Bud and being around him, and just seeing how great he becomes. Like I feel like Bud being who Bud is, and the world just didn't notice him. So
yes,
it definitely like inspired me. It definitely turned me up, and I'm locked in. I'm just trying to reach the level that he got to.
You know, he was right there, right behind Andre Ward. So while Andre Ward was the best, he was like on his heels. Do you feel like that's where you're at now? Yeah, exactly. You feel like that's where you're at? Or you're approaching that?
It's dependent. It's dependent on what we talking about. Like we talking about accomplishments. I ain't at that level. When he was behind Dre, he was like well accomplished at that time. I think he was undisputed at 140 by then. So
yes.
And we speaking accomplishments, but we speaking like skills. I think I'm like the best fighter in the world, my brain.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you are on our pound for pound list, and obviously Bud is number one. So it's kind of good to see both of you who's on the top 10 pound for pound list. You mentioned Dre, and I've always wondered.
Bud the GOAT.
What was that?
I said Bud the GOAT.
Yeah,
Bud
no
is
doubt.
the GOAT.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I was about to post something on Instagram, right? If Bud were to go up to 168 and beat Canelo Alvarez, if he would beat and become 3-time undisputed champion, is it safe to? Can we get into the conversation saying he's the greatest of all time? Like even over Floyd, and I know you're a big Floyd fan. But with that accomplishment,
I think we could be saying that for sure.
Right? Yeah. Wow. I mean, I don't see who would argue that,
sure.
right? I mean, that would be tough to argue against being that accomplished and then going up 3 weight classes to be arguably the face of boxing for the last 10 years.
I mean, Canelo's already one of the best ever. So right. if this guy, Bud, comes up and he's undefeated already, just accomplished things that no other man has accomplished, and then move up 2 weight classes.
Three.
Matter of fact, 3 weight classes, and beats Canelo. Let's just say if he could beat Canelo, that's it. You just go home, Bud. We finished.
Okay.
There's nothing he can't do at that point.
Exactly. He's Superman at that point. But look, I know you've seen a comparison on social media, Core. People are saying Bud against Floyd in his prime. How does that fight play out? And I don't love fantasy fights, but it's a conversation. How does that fight play out?
I think that's interesting. Like, it's depending on like what Floyd is in the ring is like we talking about. That's my question.
Right.
When you ask that question, because it's different versions of Floyd.
All right, the version of both of them at the same age. Bud is 36, Floyd Mayweather at 36, fighting Bud today.
See, and then you put them in the ring, that would be Floyd when he fought Canelo, right?
Canelo, yes.
Right, exactly.
That would be Canelo. And then you put Bud in, man. That's a hell of a fight.
That's a hell of a fantasy fight. God, I wish we could see that one.
It's hard to say though, because like Bud southpaw, like he could punch with both hands. It only take one mistake for Floyd to make at that point. But then Floyd is the king of like not making mistakes. So then like it comes down to like
wow.
It's hard to say. Like I wouldn't be able to sit here and tell you like a real answer.
Yeah.
Do you think Canelo gets past Jermell Charlo, or you? I mean, who are you siding with in that fight?
I think it's a 50-50 fight. I could see Charlo beating Canelo, and I could see Canelo beating Charlo. So
wow.
50-50. I think a lot of people sleep on Charlo. He got good skills, but Canelo do too. So it's gonna be It's gonna be real interesting.
Right. Okay. So you're fighting.
So you can't pick a winner on that. You can't give me one.
I'm gonna just rock with Charlo just cause you feel me.
No doubt.
Okay. I remember
I
remember once upon a time, Canelo was Shakur's guy. Like that was one of his favorite fighters. Times has changed.
I think Canelo, like, now it just look like he kind of like big headed. Like he feel like invincible. It look like right now. That's what it look like to me. So I know when like fighters start feeling like that, I don't know if they still be like as hungry.
How you feel? How do you feel? Don't you feel invincible?
No.
Really?
I don't feel invincible.
Oh wow.
No, I think at any given point.
But you feel unbeatable.
I'm human.
Hold on 1 second. What do you mean by that?
I'm human. So at the end of the day, anything is possible in the boxing ring. So I gotta prepare. Like, see how like I can sit here and talk to y'all like regular, but I gotta prepare twice as hard just because I'm talking so much and like I talk my shit. I gotta back up what goes on in my brain. So honestly, I just feel like I don't think I'm invincible. I do feel confident in myself, but I don't think I'm invincible.
Right, but you think you're unbeatable. I mean, I don't think Canelo talks too much trash or whatever. So you're saying you don't think he's preparing like he once did when he was younger?
Nah, I don't, like but I don't know him. I don't know what he's doing. But just like on the outside looking in, from what I see on the outside, it don't look like he as hungry as he was before. That's why like he used to be like one of my favorites, and now like he's definitely like top in pound for pound in the world, but definitely like I wouldn't put him.
I guess after making hundreds of millions of dollars, it might be a little tough to be that hungry. He's made a lot of money.
Sure.
All right, would I be crazy?
Sure,
I'm gonna post after this interview. I'm gonna go and post Shakur Stevenson fighting Frank Martin. Would I look crazy?
I don't know. We gotta wait and see.
Well, listen, we want an exclusive, man. I guess that smile is telling me everything we need to know, Barak.
I'm gonna post it anyway. I don't mind looking crazy.
All right, is it gonna happen this year in 2023?
Yeah, I got a big fight coming this year in 2023.
Well, look, we can't wait to see you be back in the ring against any top level, man. And we do want to see those big fights with Tank and any other top 135 pounder. Thanks for taking the time as always, brother. Take it easy, Core.